What's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Woodturning du Bois. Welcome back. Today we've got this piece of basic figured maple, maybe a little bit of curling in here. It's 2 inches deep, 10 inches across. Just going to turn a little shallow platter. Let's roll. All right, we have that sanded up to 320 grit. We're now going to hit it with our denatured alcohol to clean this grain up. Now, I did do a batch of sanding sealer, about 120 grits, just to give it a little bit of extra finish on this. It'll help smooth it up, raise that grain a little bit early, but we're going to just do that again here real quick with this, plus clean it up and get our 400 grit, and then we'll get our abrasive paste and our finishing wax on the outside, then we'll get it flipped around. But I think it's fun to always come back and just do some simple bowls, just as a refresher of how fun it is just to turn and what you can create. Now we're going to use our sanding paste from Brad's workbench. This is extra fine, so this will be about the equivalent of 1200 grit. It really starts bringing out the color in the piece. Works in, sand that down, smooth that out so we can get a really nice finish on this bowl. After I get this sanding paste on, I will laser engrave it, but I'll do that off camera. I've shown that a lot of times, but we'll do that off camera and then we'll get the finish put on. We're now going to use our tongue wax finish from Brad's Workbench. So there's a link to his store, his Etsy store down below in the description. So check it out. We'll let that sit and then we'll get it buffed off. All right, let's get that flipped around and hollowed out. Now I'm going to do the inside just like I did the outside, so I'm going to sand it a little bit, do a round of sanding sealer, then I'm going to come back and finish sanding it, and then I'll get the finish put on it. I won't bore you with all that because you've seen it many, many times before. All right, so we have that sanded up to 400. I just put on the abrasive paste like I did on the outside, and we'll get this buffed off. Then we'll start our finish. And just like we did on the outside, tongue wax finish from Brad. So we'll put this on, we'll let it set for a bit, and then we will come back and buff it off at speed with some friction. So that will melt that wax right into the wood to give us that super nice finish that we get. I always like to overlap when I do the finish on the inside. I try and overlap just a little bit so we don't get a witness line or anything like that from the finish where it transitions on the outside, because that sanding you tend to overlap just a little bit as well. But we will leave that to set, and we will be back to buff that off. So see you in a minute. Well, guys, it is full-on winter here in Kansas. So, first of all, thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed that project. Hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the process. Sometimes it's fun just to go back to a simple bowl, just to show what can be done, what kind of time frame it takes. So I spent a little over an hour and a half on this project. Went from that piece of maple that was 2 inches thick by 10 inches in diameter, and we have our finished bowl. As you could see, there was a little bit of flashing on the piece as it spun with the chatoyance in the wood, but it finished beautifully. That tongue wax finish from Brad's, I absolutely love it. I love how it smells. I love that matte luster that it leaves on the piece, and I like how durable it is. So super, as always, Brad, big thanks for the finish, for everything, for doing what you do. Just an amazing product, and I absolutely love it. Recommend it to everybody, as you know from my channel. So that being said, if this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Leave your comments, feedback down below. I appreciate that, and we'll catch you all next time.